chocolate rain. Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Chocolate rain. A baby born will die before the sin. Chocolate rain. The school books say it can't be here again. Chocolate rain. The prisons make you wonder where it went. Chocolate rain. Build a tent and say the world is dry. Chocolate rain. Zoom the camera out and see the light. Chocolate rain. Forecast to be falling yesterday. Chocolate rain. Only in the past is what they say. Chocolate rain. Raise your neighborhood insurance rates. Chocolate rain. Makes us happy living in a gay. Chocolate rain. Made me cross the street the other day. Chocolate rain. Made you turn your head the other way. Chocolate rain. History quickly crashing.
Love that fade out. Got this all super figured out. Welcome to the AntiNews, the least trusted name in the news. I'm here with the beautiful, illustrious Craig, who is looking like a sweet hipster with his beard and his douche flute on hand, something that I would never consider doing. Craig, how are you?
Oh, beautifully and illustriously beautiful. I don't know if I've ever been called both of those in one sentence before.
Well, there's a first for everything, including the first time that we decided that we're going to try doing this live thing a little bit more legit. Hopefully, we tried it and we fumbled through it not that long ago, but here we are finally giving it a real go. I got some new software today, and we'll call this the pre-show. Well, hopefully people find this link, which was posted in the forum, and our subscribers on YouTube should be getting a notification. Who knows? I don't know how this thing works. We're not live people typically, but yeah. So for pre-show, we'll just chat about what's going on and catch up and give some behind the scenes looks at things that are going on with the show. Craig, you got anything?
No.
Cool. Well, my we were working on figuring out these details for how we're going to do this, and I think I finally pretty much figured out all the technical kinks that were being a problem, and I was like, all right, we're going live in like 3 minutes, and then my mic stand falls apart entirely. Software, good to go. Hardware, not so much. So, doing the whole handheld tonight, but yeah. So, Craig, I haven't actually filled you in that much on how these shows will probably have to go based on, at least for the time being, with the software that I have. I got Ecamm Live, which is fantastic so far. So good. But, hey, could you do that a little louder, please? Thank you. Thanks. I'll only use my louder one for these episodes. But anyway,
I usually mute, but sometimes I forget I'm already on mute. So then when I go to click mute, I unmute it just in time to suck on this stupid thing.
Of course. Yeah, so using this new software, the problem is that Craig can't see what I screen share through Ecamm Live. I can see what he screen shares through Skype because this is feeding through Skype, which seems to be working well so far. But, yeah, we're going to have to figure out how this is going to work. We might even do, once we start doing a weekly thing, which that's the plan for those of you who don't know. We're planning on doing this as a weekly live show and eventually getting it to the point
don't give away the secret.
You can call in and stuff like that. Yeah, we're still a little ways out from that, but we're planning on starting around 11 minutes after 9 o'clock at night, and possibly having a call-in show eventually and covering the news. We might have different segments. Maybe we'll have, like we talked on today's episode with Scott, we were talking about Q, and we said we should have you back on in the near future since it's unfolding so frequently. We could probably work Scott into a segment of his own on this and
like
stuff like that. I don't know. And we also have the ability to pull up YouTube videos, so we could rip apart some YouTube videos just for funsies sometimes. So
that's always fun.
Yeah.
Can we should do a segment just ripping apart that girl from the Roots channel or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's kind of my plan.
Just exactly. Every video of hers will rip apart. One episode a week, just ripping that video apart.
Right. Craig, are you watching? Do you have the link open on YouTube?
I don't even see the post for the link. Where'd you post it at?
I'm not asking you to have it open. I was just wondering if the other person who's watching right now is you.
No, I'm not. I'm just wondering if the link posted, because I don't even see it on the page.
I might have. Did I? Was that in the forum? Where did I post this?
It's probably on your page.
So we're still figuring this out because I posted this to my personal page. That's probably why Kayla clicked on it and laughed. I'm going to delete that.
Yeah, delete that. We don't want some people listening.
Yep.
We don't want like grandma listening. Grandma, sorry.
Well, if anybody finds the YouTube page, it will be live and it will be out there for people to discover our lunacy. So, it is what it is. We're gonna be what we're gonna be.
If grandma can figure out a computer long enough to figure out Facebook long enough to figure out how to get to your page,
she'll be dead by
long enough to click on the link. More power to her to listen.
That's right.
To
she can clearly handle some of these hard subjects if she can figure out that much in the short amount of time that she has left. Let me see. Okay. Craig, talk about something while I post this to places. Go.
All right. Well, I don't know. I mean, we've been talking about doing a live show for a while now, and we keep talking about doing a live show. Like, we're like, hey, we need to talk about this, and we just don't ever even talk about it. So it's just kind of like, all right, we're gonna do this. And so, I don't know. I think it's gonna be good. I think we could open up a door to a lot of cool people, I guess, or dumb people, maybe. I don't know.
Mostly that.
Mostly dumb people, probably, but that's okay because we like dumb people too. But there's a lot of things to talk about, and I think I enjoy going back and listening to ourselves in later days. That's about the only podcast I listen to anymore is just us. And so
not even the ones that you're not on, just
nope,
your
just us.
episodes where you get to listen to yourself bloviate about stupid things.
I'm not narcissistic, but I'm the only one I want to listen to.
And you're the only one that wants to listen to you too.
So I feel like if I want to listen to myself, people would like to see us live. I mean, that only makes sense.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, not only do I sound amazing, but I look even better.
That's right. Resplendent is the word I would use. Resplendent.
Resplendent. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to go with it.
It's all right. It's a quote. Okay, so I am deleting it from my personal account. I believe it is really hard to pay attention to all the thousands of things at once. There are ways, I believe, to make it so it auto sends out links to everybody on all the different pages too. We'll have to look into all that so we make sure you guys don't miss it when these things happen, because they're going to be fun, and we're going to incorporate a bunch of different ideas into it. But I'm hoping to make it so it can auto send out information to the forum and to the page, and if you're following those closely enough, you'll know that that's happening. Until then, I would think that if you subscribe to the show on YouTube, like I've told you to do for the last 71, 72 episodes, something like that, then you should get a notification on there when we are live.
If you haven't subscribed by now, what are you even doing here?
Have you subscribed on YouTube?
I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like a hard no to me.
Probably not.
Yep. It's all right.
But if anybody else hasn't subscribed on YouTube, what are you doing?
Right. Now, if you guys are watching this in the forum, thank you. But you're watching it through YouTube, and we can see your comments live, and we can respond to them if you comment. If you go into YouTube and comment on there. I know it's a good chance that you're not auto logged into your YouTube account, as a lot of people aren't, but you know, it'll be fun. Come in, say hi at the very least. Let us know who's watching, and chat with us a little bit, and we'll jump back and forth between that and the actual things that we're here to talk about, which I'm sure are very enlightening, as Craig brings only the best and most intellectual of news topics. Greg, you're silent.
Like I said.
The best and most intellectual of news topics, but can't unmute his mic before he speaks.
silly mute button. Oh.
So,
anyway.
That I'd say everybody's had a fair shot to get in here if they want to. We're looking at about 11 minutes or so. We'll probably shoot for maybe around 15 to 20 and have something planned for pre-show. Maybe take an intermission in between that and their main show, and then we'll probably do... Okay, so, yeah, a little bit more insider baseball. My plan for the schedule for how the shows will go once we do them live, if all goes according to plan, don't hold me to this, but it'd be cool to do maybe somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes of pre-show, main show covering the news, and then we'll maybe take a couple calls at the end of that, and then switch over to the Patreon account for... people who want to continue calling in. We'll have an extended show where you can go over there and get bonus hour or whatever amount of time we are allowed to have. But yeah, so for those of you who are already in the Downers Club, and for those of you who aren't, the AntiNews is something that we do as a bonus show. Typically in the Downers Club, we don't do it live. You can sign up for Patreon at patreon.com/The System Is Down and get all of our backlog of AntiNews episodes and a bunch of other bonus episodes. But the plan is to take the AntiNews live and then still have a bonus AntiNews basically for you guys, where you can get even more interactive than the typical free show, which it's going to be. Does that all make sense? Did I cover that? Did I cover all my grounds in a legal manner?
I don't know about legal, but sound good to me.
Also, you remember when I posted that YouTube was, like when I log into YouTube, it says, your show is similar to, and then you would think it would have a couple different channels, and it always just had Alex Jones, and I said, screw you. What about now? If they're comparing me to Alex Jones, how long do we have to do this?
Well, if Alex Jones doesn't exist anymore, how are they comparing you to Alex Jones?
I don't think they are. I haven't checked in a while.
You are most like nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You are most like the people that we hate. Maybe that was a warning shot, because they didn't say that up until the last month or two. That never popped up. So maybe that was like, what? You are kind of like Alex Jones. Just so you know, watch your back.
And watch this. Alex Jones is gone. Right. And guess what's coming for you?
Guess how much more easy it will be to take out the AntiNews than Alex Jones. Also, for new listeners, if you're not familiar, this is a part of the show The System Is Down that you can listen to every single Monday. Typically interviews on Monday, and not sure when these AntiNews episodes will fall on, but if we can figure out our schedules, we're going to set a regular day during the week to do this.
So, are we going to get into it? Is there people watching? There's me, there's you, and one other.
I'm not on anymore. And there's 3, so there's probably 2 people watching, if you're not frozen.
2 people? I am watching.
I believe so. Once again, as we get into this, comment on YouTube, and we will be able to see it there. We won't be able to see it on Facebook. All right, Craig, what is supposedly going on in the world today? Let's hear it.
Well, I will let you know as soon as my computer starts acting straight and not homosexual. I might have to pull it up on my phone, because I think I'm doing too many things at once on my computer.
If you pull it up on your phone, it'll be a lot easier to screen share. Just hold your phone up to the screen and then scroll slowly.
See it?
Looks really good.
Oh, what the heck's going on? I think because I'm watching us, it like went into an infinite time loop that it doesn't like now. So I'm just gonna start reading news stories.
That'll work.
Let me get into it.
That's the other thing that we have to deal with in live. You're going to have to deal with the fact that sometimes we show up not knowing what we're doing, and we figure it out as we go along.
The worst part is when we think we have it, and then right when it's time, it's like, all right, what's going on? And then computer says, no.
Punk Shot says, hey, Punk Shot. I don't know who you Punk are, Shot? But I like your style.
I do too. You are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You are my favorite listener at the moment.
By far, yeah, since you're the only one, I believe, if you still have yours open. We're down to 2, so we might still have 2 if you closed yours. Anyway, we're done talking about who's actually in here, unless you guys comment. If you don't comment, we're not going to talk about how many people are here, because that will just make us sad when we go back and look at it in the future, and we're stoked that one person is still listening. All right.
All right, my computer is now working now that I killed myself. Not literally, but
thanks for clarifying.
No, I'm still here, guys. So let's start off with some lighthearted stuff. Our title, what was the title again?
The title, it doesn't show it on here. I'd have to go back into Facebook to see what we titled it.
It was like
something to do with Clorox, lattes, and mind-controlling robots. I think that's what it was. Oh, this is Punk Shot. I believe he said it's Clint. I'm assuming it's Clint Rankin, who is a Downers Club member. So what's up, Clint?
Yo, Clint. Thanks for listening.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to talk first about this Clorox latte. So this I just stumbled across like 1 minute before we went live. Actually, 1 minute before you made the title.
Yeah.
So the title of this is McDonald's serves pregnant woman cleaning fluid in a latte. Must we read any further than that?
Yes. Please do. I mean, everybody says that McDonald's is poison, but
now, literally?
Literal poison.
A pregnant woman in Canada, well, there's your problem right there.
Mm-hmm.
It says it in the first line.
Why? Because Canadians shouldn't, reproduce?
No, it's because she's pregnant.
Oh. People shouldn't reproduce.
A pregnant woman in Canada had a stomach-churning experience Sunday morning. I love when these reporters just make lighthearted jests at such a tragic event.
Yeah.
At a stomach-churning experience Sunday morning when she was served a latte filled with cleaning fluid. Sarah Douglas of Lethbridge, Alberta, was on her way to her son's baseball tournament when she went to McDonald's drive-thru for a latte. It wasn't until she was on the highway that she suspected something was wrong. What was your first clue? She told the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, I immediately had to put my hazard lights on and pull over and spit it out and rinse my mouth out with water. I don't know. There's like ... It says with ... water. Maybe maybe she was gonna say gin,
right?
Or Canadian whiskey with water.
No, she was like, this tastes bad. My mouth tastes dirty. I'm going to drink Clorox to see if I can get it out of there.
Right. I opened up the lid of the coffee and out pours this pungent smell of chemical. It wasn't a latte at all. Douglas, who is 7 months pregnant with her third child, said the liquid in her cup was a watery brownish color. When she returned to the restaurant to complain, she said a staff member told her 2 cleaning lines were hooked up to the latte machine, according to the newspaper. The on-duty supervisor showed Douglas the bottle of cleaning fluid so she would know what to tell poison control. That was very generous of him.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of it, and then another coworker of his had also overheard what had been going on, was a little bit upset at the situation, and said that this had happened before, and she was a little mad that it was occurring again. Wow. Douglas contacted Health Services, HealthLink, and was transferred to poison control. She turned out to be okay since she hadn't swallowed the liquid. She visited her family doctor just to make sure there were no lingering effects. Dan Brown, who owns the McDonald's franchise where Douglas purchased the tainted latte, can you even consider that a tainted latte at that point, or just...
It's not even a latte. I suppose the cup still said latte on it.
He released a statement. He said, "Since learning about the complaint, our team has been in very close contact with the guest and apologized to her. The health inspector also visited my restaurant and is not investigating further. McDonald's is renowned for its food safety protocols, and I am sorry that this happened in my restaurant here in Lethbridge. What happened is that the machine was being cleaned, as is every morning. Unfortunately, the milk supply line was connected to the cleaning solution while this guest drink was made. We have taken immediate action to review the proper cleaning procedures with the team and have put additional signage up as an added reminder. They should make some kind of function on the machine that does not allow you to make a latte while it is hooked up to the cleaning bottle."
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how it works. I assume they put it in there, then they have to flush it out by running the machine. So it wouldn't really work. But still, that's a big error.
That's big oops.
That's
a very
big
oops.
Big error.
And the fact is, it's not the first time.
Yeah. I was pulling up something else while you were saying that part. Read that section again, because... I think that might be the most amazing part about this, that it's happened multiple times.
Okay. Says, hang on. Said, another coworker of his had also overheard what had been going on and was a little bit upset at the situation and said that this had happened before. And she was a little mad that it was occurring again.
Why are they I'm wondering what the opinion is of the reporter. Like, was she a little mad? Like, are you saying she's a little mad? If she actually is just a little mad about this, then you've got a problem. She should be very mad about this. It shouldn't. There's no way this should happen more than once. And if it has happened more than once, you would think she'd be more mad. If it's happened a lot of times, which it seems like it very well could be happening a little too frequently. I don't know. I think it's funny that the reporter says she was a little mad. Like, was she? It's almost like they're throwing in that word to. They're saying just a little to make her seem more stupid. Like, we could not believe that she was not outraged by this. That is insane. They fed somebody cleaning fluid.
Yeah, I'd be a little mad the first time, and pretty seriously. If I was the owner that released the statement, I would be infuriated that my staff was dumb enough to serve not once,
right,
but twice serve Clorox lattes to public, especially this pregnant chick with her third baby on the way. That poor child.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Clorox baby. Not going to be able to sit up.
Typical thing.
Yeah, not going to be able to sit up.
Meth
right.
babies, and then there's Clorox babies.
Right, exactly.
Forrest, I believe that is who is saying sup in the chat. So
sup, Forrest.
Sup. Also, Lucas Riley says trying to. Hold on, let me pull this up. Lucas Riley said, "Oh, that's too big. I don't know how this program works. Trying to get home, but I'm stuck at a effing train. So I guess I'll watch this for a few minutes."
Well, yeah. I'm glad your inconvenience has brought you to us.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
That's a God thing, brother. I mean, you probably wouldn't have tuned in if it.
God put that train in front of you.
Sometimes God puts a train in your path to lead you in the right direction, which is stop, slow down, and listen to the AntiNews live.
Exactly.
So
because this is some serious holy stuff going on right now.
Can I get a hallelujah?
Amen, brother.
Thank you.
Brother.
Preach. All right. Do you want to do another one? I can pull something up here if you'd like.
Go.
Okay. I'm just I think one of our segments should be the latest post from HuffPost in their Queer Voices section. Just because.
I wasn't fully aware that there was a Queer Voices section.
That's why. That's why we should do this. Okay, so the first one, I'll just read some headlines here. I don't actually have a story up, but in entertainment, Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson make red carpet debut at 2018 MTV Music Awards. How is that? The Queer Voices news? That's a guy and a lady who went to a thing. I guess maybe you're assuming that gay people enjoy the award ceremonies more than others. I don't know. It could be true. Let me see. Kelly Clarkson has a classy response to a homophobic Twitter troll.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Oh, yeah. Those are always fun. Let's see.
I love Twitter reactions. I mean, there's nothing better than a good Twitter reaction.
Oh, that's so true. Just ask our president. Let me switch this over to this, and you guys can see what I'm seeing here. Craig, you can't, but they can. Kelly Clarkson has no qualms about standing up to an anti-LGBTQ AAIP tweeter who criticized her praise for a newlywed same-sex couple. The couple, Kiana and Amanda Clark, got engaged after Clarkson invited them on stage during a 2016 performance on Sunday. This is a new sentence. On Sunday, Kiana tweeted Clarkson a photograph of the pair in their wedding gowns. Clarkson retweeted the image and sent her congratulations. Yeah, they're nice looking, pretty decent looking lesbians, and those are a rare breed. The image, however,
I was gonna say, do they make those?
The image, however, didn't sit well with a Twitter user identified as Terry D. Falls, who said she loved Clarkson's music, but then rudely dismissed the two women, calling same-sex marriage still a sin any way you cut it. By Monday afternoon, Clarkson offered an exclusive response to the anti-LGBTQ XYZ LMNOP tweet. Clarkson said, I almost didn't respond to this because hate doesn't deserve a spotlight, but you know what? Truth does, and the truth is that God is love, and love shared between two people should be praised, not condemned, in my personal opinion. I love you too, although is that you? It's the letter U and the number 2. She's talking about the two girls or
like
this person?
The band. No, the band.
Oh,
you too.
I love Bono's band, although we see the world / love differently. So she was talking to the person who posted it. My only issue with this is that they make it out to be such a big deal. Like, she shut him down. She slammed him. He could not even respond to that, or she, or whatever it was, I suppose. Terry's could be either. Who knows? But Terry. Yeah, it's not like she slammed him. She said her opinion. Who cares? I don't necessarily even disagree with her, and I find this...
Yeah.
So Kelly Clarkson has a classy response to a homophobic Twitter troll. I suppose that's fair.
I mean, she at least kept it together instead of saying, going off a handle like some people do, I don't even care about you as a fan because I only like loving people.
You mean like Eminem?
Right.
I'm drawing a line here. If you support him, then you're not a fan of mine. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm not supporting him, but I'm not a fan of yours anymore because you drew the line. I don't like lines.
Anyway, they can't all be juicy stories, but that's our queer voices of the day. Thank you, Kelly Clarkson.
That's our new 2-minute segment. We gotta have it at a specific time.
We gotta have queued up music for it too.
4 minutes and 35 seconds into every episode, on the dot, we will play. I don't know. Just seemed random enough for the queer voices.
YMCA will kick in as the intro music, and we'll switch over to queer voices.
That's not the police.
There's also women.
That's
black
the village
voices,
people.
Latina voices, and Asian voices.
Village people.
Yeah. Oh,
the village people.
That's right. Yeah.
There is a police officer in the village people.
Right. That's the confusion there.
But I don't think you should. The police aren't that great, but really your comparing them to the Village People?
I'm young. Leave me alone.
So,
what you got?
The next headline story.
Hold up.
All right, fine, because my computer... Oh, there it is.
Let's see. We've got some comments here. We won't always be this generous with reporting on every comment, but we're stoked to be here, and we're stoked that you're listening, so it'll be really nice.
And just the fact that we have anybody listening right now, we have to give them credit.
Exactly. Lucas Riley says, God? Oh, Lord. Oh, I see what you did there. Probably not intentionally, but, yeah. Anyway, the Zot Man...
Oh, Lord, my God.
he's worshiping. The Zot Man says, vacation sucks. I don't get to see Dan. That is beautiful. Somebody went on vacation and they're like, man, this is relaxing, but I miss the good old days. And
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason I came back from vacation.
That's right.
Because I hadn't been able to see you in so long.
I understand. Lucas Riley says, if I was home, I'd be watching the whole thing. If there was a God, he wouldn't have made me work late. Well, I'm convinced. That is a fair point, Lucas.
Checkmate, Christians.
All right. Let's move along. What you got?
All right. Next headline, the big story of the day is... A new study says robots can brainwash children into mindless conformity. Well, that sounds terrifying.
By robots, you mean iPhones, right?
Oh, this just shows a little toy robot in this picture. Should I try to screen share and take the risk of freezing up everything?
You can try. And I can switch this view to just you.
All right, let's see. How do I screen share again? Okay. Nope, that's full screen. Yep, we're doing good, guys.
Yep, killing it.
I remember where it is now. Share screens. It's going slow already, so I'm not making any promises.
I have only you up and visible, so okay. The more awkward you make it, the better.
All right. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Nope.
What?
Nope. All right. Well, that's not going to work. We'll figure that out later. Still some bugs here. And you're frozen.
What can you?
And you're back. I can just see you. The way this program works is it integrates it, so it's pulling.
I'm about now.
It's pulling your video straight from your camera, and that's
okay.
all.
This isn't.
What?
This ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's like super glitchy.
It is. Every time you talk, it's glitchy. So let's move along. Just go.
I don't know how to get it out now. How do I make it stop? Stop sharing. There we go. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get a faster processor to do stuff like that.
And I'm gonna get another title card that I can pull up that just says like experiencing technical difficulties. It'll just be an image while it'll still have our audio complaining about it in the background.
No, have it say experiencing technical shit.
There you go. And you're frozen. We could just have it say something to the effect of the Clintons are onto us. Are you there?
I think so. Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay. Your face is still frozen.
Your face is frozen too, but I can hear you, so that's what really matters.
All right.
So, this is just a little toy robot. You're moving now, so we're good.
Cool.
It kind of looks like those robots that we had little toys of as a kid, only this one has worried eyeballs.
Are you talking about the robot that walks around and it moves its arms and like responds to some voice commands and blows smoke out of its mouth, which I still don't know how it did that.
I forgot that it blew smoke.
Like, it would just be like a little puff of smoke.
How did it blow smoke out of it?
I've never even thought about that until now.
Where'd smoke come from?
I have no idea. I need to look into that. It seems like that's not a toy that would be allowed to be made these days, but...
Right.
It was...
It was... Did it have a...
Go ahead.
Did it have like a little chemical capsule inside of it?
I have no idea. It's very bizarre. But it was definitely just a tool to get kids to start vaping.
I agree. Yep. So they started working on us young.
Mm-hmm. You're still frozen on me. What's going on?
You're not on me. All right, we'll keep going. Okay. A new study has shown that robots can brainwash children, essentially programming their minds into mindless conformity. Children can be significantly influenced by machines, even when the robots are obviously wrong. Writing the Science Robotics, the University of Plymouth researchers behind the study said the findings raise concerns about potential for robots to have a negative influence on vulnerable children. Children were shown to trust the answer a robot provides over their own assessment, even though it was easily wrong, making robot pressure the new peer pressure.
Where to start?
I can keep going if you want to find yourself.
Yeah, go ahead. You're still frozen, though.
This is that guy's quote.
Why don't you jump out and jump back in?
But can't I finish the story first?
Fine.
At least this guy's quote says, people often follow the opinions of others, and we've known for a long time that it is hard to resist taking over views and opinions of people around us. We know this as conformity, but as robots will soon be found in a home and the workplace, we were wondering if people would conform to robots. What our results show is that adults do not conform to what the robots are saying, but when we did the experiment with children, they did. It shows children can perhaps have more of an affinity with robots than adults, which does pose the question, what if robots were to suggest, for example, what products to buy or what to think? They're publishing this thing, and all these marketers are reading this like,
good idea.
That's a good idea.
Well, I'm sure they'd have already thought
That's
of
a
it.
good idea. Right. Professor Noel Sharkey, who heads the Foundation of the Responsible Robotics, responded to the research on Twitter. If robots can convince children that false information is true, the implication for the planned commercial exploitation of robots for child minding and teaching is problematic. No kidding. So thoughts? Am I still frozen?
Yeah, you're still frozen.
You get out?
Yeah, jump out and jump back in.
How do I jump back in? Just call you?
No. Maybe. New to this. Just jump out and I'll add you back in. See how it goes.
Goodbye.
All right, bye. So, thank you guys for listening this far. Again, we're figuring our stuff out the best we can. And there's some of it that is still going to be a little shaky. I'll read some comments while Craig is out and we mull over the idea of robots taking over the brains of our children, which is inevitable. Let's see here. All right, we're ringing on Craig. So, I'll read some comments. This is more from Lucas. Lucas, you're a gem. Lucas says, it was totally intentional. Don't underestimate my snarkiness. He also says, Craig is a great ventriloquist. Move over, Jeff Dunham. Yeah, makes sense.
I can't see you at all. Like, my Skype is just being, what the heck just happened?
Yeah, I'm just getting blue screen for you.
I just have 2 black screens in front of me now.
All right. Lucas also says, I had a Godzilla that smoked. Had to add vegetable oil to it. Not sure how I managed to not burn the house down. Exactly.
So it literally was vaping.
Yeah, it is. It's like 50% of the ingredients that go into vaping. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know if ours had a spot to fill it. It probably did, and we were just like, well, it doesn't smoke anymore, so I don't know what to do because we didn't. We weren't one of those smart kids or nothing. Lucas says
that's probably why at some point it stopped, and we're like, Mom, it stopped, and Mom's like, let's just throw the damn thing away.
Yeah. Lucas had to go. The train started moving, and God told him to carry on with his life. So maybe he'll tune back in later. I don't know, but.
Sorry, Lucas, you gotta listen to God when he speaks.
That's right. That's right. All right.
I can see you now. Can you see me now?
Why aren't you here? Wait.
Can you see me now?
I do have you. Hold on.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I have images back on my screens, so that's a a good start.
Yep. Looking good.
Like I said before we started this adventure, I've been putting off getting a new computer because I'm like, I don't really need a new computer. Then when we go do stuff like this, my computer says, you really need a new computer.
You don't want me anymore. You're over me. This is done. It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, exactly. My computer's breaking up on me, with me,
yep,
around me.
A bit of both. Alrighty.
So do you got anything else to say about the robots?
I'm just going to keep reading all these comments. Forrest says, today I learned what butt facials is. Always learning something new. Forrest, you're going to have to be a little bit more clear on what the hell you're talking about.
I was going to say, today might be the day that I learn what butt facials are. Forrest? Forrest, if you want to call in and explain, that'd be fantastic if we knew how to do that.
Yeah. That would take some setup that we haven't done yet. But Forrest, please post a comment. Let us know what butt facials is. We're getting a couple comments coming in, too. I'm not going to stop every time. But thank you, guys. Keep them coming. We'll read them off here in a bit. But so we were talking about, if you're just now tuning in, we're talking about robots that are... So this is basically just a test. Like they're testing these AIs and seeing if the words that they're saying to kids are actually influencing them to make decisions. Correct?
Sounded like marketing research to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing new. It's like you're putting commercials in toys. I mean, it's gross. It's gross. If I watch regular TV and like kids commercials come on, especially commercials in general, but kids commercials especially, they're really gross and creepy. And especially if you look back, it makes
me want to buy toys.
If you look back at like the ones when we were kids in like the 90s and stuff, where like I don't even really know what they are now because I mostly just watch Netflix, but the old commercials where it's like, look at Timmy, he's got a cheap piece of plastic, he's so happy, explosions not included. It's like everything is so cool looking, and it's just
if you want to be happy like Timmy, you must buy this cheap piece of plastic.
It's
Mom,
like, exactly.
I'm not happy. I need a cheap piece of plastic.
I'm gonna kill myself. My life is not fulfilled without plastic. But it's like, I mean, if you just watch the commercial on surface level, it's a little creepy. But if you think about the fact that there was probably 25 grown men sitting in a room going, what are kids like? Let's do something that will make kids want to buy this crappy piece of plastic from us. And they come up with things based on
marketing research.
Based on the ability to lure children into their ways of thinking, which is creepy.
Sure. I mean, you got to get into the mind of a child to really understand how to sell to them, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to sell a toy to a parent realistically unless you have...
No parent watches those commercials and says, I have to get this for my kid.
Right. So you got to get down at the kids level and make it seem like they have to have this toy. So then the kid... Because, you know, parents can't actually say no to their kids anymore. Mm-hmm. So you got to get the kids to ask or beg the parent and throw a fit. The key is to get the kid to throw a fit.
Make the kid suicidal and you can get them to buy whatever you want.
You can get a kid to throw a little bit of a fit. Like throw themselves on the floor even.
Especially in the store.
I know. So... Let me sidetrack from that, kind of, but on the same topic. I was in my sarcastically favorite store, known as Walmart.
Oh, that's a good one. I've been there.
It is.
That's the blue one, right?
Yeah, the blue. Not the red one. The blue one, yep. The one where people wear their pajamas and...
Hey, don't knock them. They're there buying clothes.
Usually don't. The women
don't
wear...
They have.
The women don't wear bras usually, and...
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, that place.
They're
you know what I'm talking about.
Get over it.
No, I don't care. I mean, to each their own.
Go on with your story, for the love of God.
So, I'm at Walmart, and we walk in, and I hear this kid screaming.
Sounds like a Walmart. Yeah.
Right? I'm like, well, that's not unusual. It's really obnoxious, but not unusual. I did choose to come to Walmart.
To scream in the Walmart.
So, as we get closer to said parent or said child and his mom, I hear the mom like, "Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay." Like just kind of like, "Aw." Yeah,
and I walked over to the kid and I said, "It's not okay. It's not a fucking cake.
This kid is throwing
in the real world, and doing this shit is gonna get you in jail."
This kid is throwing a bitch fit, like screaming fit, and it's not like a baby. This is probably 5-year-old, maybe
a 16-year-old.
16, yeah. So we proceed through the store. I don't even remember what we were looking for, but we proceeded through the store. Mm-hmm. I can hear this kid my entire trip around the store. We circle back through the electronics section because we were looking for something, and the screaming gets louder as they get closer. And I see this mom is now messing around like she's trying, when you like throw your kid up and down, like your baby up and down to like try to make them happy.
Divert their thought.
Right. She is like holding this kid upside down, like swinging him around upside down. This kid is throwing a bigger bitch fit.
Yeah. Oh,
and
you're
she's
mad?
just like all like,
what if I shake you upside down?
Oh, she was just like all playing like, oh, it's okay, it's gonna be okay, and he's just screaming bloody murder. I'm like, I would kill your kid right now if it was legal. If you paid me enough, I will bury your kid. And actually, I want to bury you first because you are an idiot.
I want to bury you, make your child watch, and then bury your kid on top of your grave in a shallow grave.
I asked my wife.
Let's see if we can get kicked off of YouTube on the first night.
Exactly. Murdering children. I asked my wife, though, whatever happened to carrying your kid out on your shoulder, kicking and screaming to the car, like putting the cart down, putting everything you had down? I know. I've done it with my kid.
Same.
My parents have done it with me. Your kid starts throwing that tantrum. You put down what you have, you drag them out to the car, and they usually, in my kid's scenario, and my scenario with my parents, they know what's coming once you get to the car, once you get out of the public viewing. Like, literally, even with the windows, it's close enough to out of public viewing that...
That's the only reason I have tinted windows on my car, so I can beat the shit out of my child when they disobey me.
Bad things are going to happen. I'm not advocating for child abuse, but come on, you need to smack that kid around a little bit. Just a little. Show that kid who's boss.
Yeah, it's true. And we could get into why I think it's okay to spank your kid, but no, I'm hoping that we have some new viewers tonight that are just tuning in, and I'm not going to, I'm not even going to bother explaining. We're just going to move on from there.
We're just going to say, beat your damn child already.
Yep.
Especially at the local Walmart.
Nobody would be surprised. You're at Walmart. Come on. Yeah, I get like anxiety attacks when I go to Walmart, especially on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh my gosh.
We're up in the city area of the Quad Cities around here, because that's where we attend a church, believe it or not. And afterwards, sometimes we'll go to the Super Walmart, which is not super on Sunday mornings. It is quite claustrophobic, and nobody knows. I mean, there's like simple store etiquette, like walk on the frickin' right side of the aisle for the love of God, and if you need to pass somebody, put on your turning signal. We should really have like traffic laws on Sunday afternoons at Walmart. It's ridiculous.
So on that note, because I have a couple things to say about how much I hate Walmart. I don't get anxiety. I get severe anger at Walmart. I'm not typically an angry person, but it brings out severe anger in me. Yep. Okay, so not only do people not walk on the right side of the road, but let's say you're going through a tight area and somebody is coming the same direction as you. What is the common thing to do, courtesy to do, is to turn your body to make yourself less wide, and then the other person reciprocates and turns their body, and you squeeze past each other.
Yep.
Not typical at Walmart. Typically, that person just keeps walking straight through, practically knocks you into the rack next to you.
Yep.
It's just like, you saw me turn. You saw me turn. Why didn't you, like, maybe do the same and exchange the courtesy with me? But no, people just like to, they're in their own space and they don't care what they take up, and they're just going to walk.
Yeah.
Or if they decide to turn or walk out of an aisle, that's my favorite, is when I'm walking down the main aisle and somebody just pops out of a side aisle. It's like a side street of a freaking road, people.
Yeah.
Like, you stop and you yield to the main traffic. Not in Walmart. They're just like, nope, I'm just going to keep walking. And almost, it pisses me off when they do it to me, but it really pisses me off when they almost run my kid over. I actually say things to people when they almost run my kid over. So, number two,
think that they should have a turning lane or a passing lane. Like, there should be 3 lanes in a Walmart where, there are lines, and you stay there. And if you want to look at something that's on the other side of the aisle, you have to go around and come back so that it's on your side of the aisle, and you're not looking across and making it awkward for somebody to walk through. And if we have passing lanes or turning lanes, it's a lane where you can stop, and you can pass somebody that is stopped in the right lane, and you can get around them without waiting for the congestion to clear up.
And that reminds me of another thing I hate. That's exactly what you just mentioned, is the people that stop in the middle of the damn aisle, stand there looking for what they're looking for. You are clearly, very clearly, standing behind them waiting to get through.
That's when you just walk up to them and you say in there, is there something I could help you find?
They don't move. They don't shove over one side. I don't even care if you shove over to the wrong side like a lot of people do. So you got to awkwardly pass in front of them.
Yeah.
Get over on one side. The last thing, and then we'll get off this retarded topic.
This is what this is. If you're new here, this is what this is. We bring up a topic and then we talk about things that have a little bit maybe somewhere to do with the topic, because this started with robots controlling minds. But anyway, Go on about Walmart.
The last thing is the parking lot. You think inside is bad, outside is so very much worse. Not only is there rarely a close spot, which I don't care about. I don't mind walking. What I really hate is when somebody sees somebody coming to their car, so they stop and put their turning signal on and wait for that person to back out. Backing up traffic down the whole freaking parking lane.
You don't want to walk.
My thought is...
They don't want to walk.
Yes. My thought is, if they parked 5 spaces back, they would get inside faster than if they sat here for 4 minutes waiting for this person to back out.
And is there somebody... I know it seems like a big win when you get up close, when you get a close parking spot. If you park 5 spaces back, is there anybody in the world that while they're walking those 5 spaces, they're thinking about the agony of having to walk that extra 5 spaces? It's like,
oh man,
30 feet.
I could have been right there. I could have been there.
It's like you park and you're seething inside when you park, and then you get out and you're like, I'm on my way to Walmart, and then you don't think about it at all. Like, it's a huge deal when you're trying to find the spot, but when you're actually exerting the effort to make up the difference, you don't think about it. You don't care at all. There are times where I'll just park way out on the edge because I'm like, who gives a crap? It'll be easier to find my car.
That's because you have a fancy car and you don't like people parking next to you.
I have a 2006 Prius that is falling apart and the paint is all chipped off the top, but it does get good gas mileage still.
I have a decent size, a full-size truck, so I intentionally park out there, not because I want somebody to not hit it, because if they did open their door and hit it, it probably would crumble to pieces, but it's more because I don't like making that awkward 4-point pull into a parking spot with my large truck. I'd rather just save myself the humility and park a little ways out and get the extra walk in. So it's just easier for me to pull into a spot that has nobody around it. So I mean,
yourself the humility or the humiliation. I'm sorry, I can't stop thinking about that choice of words.
Sorry, I was trying to I knew it was wrong, but then I was like, no, I think that's right. And then I said it.
I should have let it go. But we need to move on anyway. And before we get into the next story, somebody named Dems. His profile picture looks familiar, but I don't know who you are. Feel free to introduce yourself, or I can call you Dems. That's cool. Dems says, "What are you vaping on? I got some Lava Flow by Naked 100 in the tank right now." Dems, are you a libertarian? Because Lava Flow sounds like the name of Roger Paxton's podcast. It'd be cool to find a libertarian vape juice provider. But
what are you vaping on?
I'll let you go first.
I am vaping on. It's from the place called the Rat House, I think. Anyway,
it's classy.
It's what is that called? River Rat Vapes House, even classier. This is Berry Crunch because I ran out of the last blend we talked about, which is the 4 blend. So this is Berry Crunch, is the first one I bought when I got this douche thing.
Douche flute.
And douche flute.
I told Craig we could never do a live podcast until he starts vaping because it makes it way more fun to watch.
Did you say that?
Nope.
Okay, we'll just say we said that. So I bought it, and now we're live.
It is history. It is history.
Yes,
so
it has been written.
Berry Crunch. Mine, I went with something really creative and got. It's called Berry Crunchy.
Ooh, is it crunchier the Berry Crunch?
No, it's just their way of not getting sued by Captain Crunch.
Well, that's why mine's Berry Crunch and not Crunch Berry. Because I went in and the guy's like, "What are you looking for?" I was like, I kind of want my brother vapes this Crunch Berry stuff. He's like, "Oh, Berry Crunch."
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, is it the same thing?
I'm sure every place has their own version.
Right. My last stuff I just finished actually when we started. It was in the tank and then I had to refill. It was called 4 Blend and it was a blend. I went into this shop in Des Moines when I was working there and I was like, I want something that's like coffee or a latte or not a Clorox latte, but like a coffee latte. And he's like, well, we don't really have that, but we have something kind of like it. It's a mix. It's called 4 Blend. It's got caramel, tobacco, and bourbon. I'm not sure how that's kind of like coffee. I didn't even get to the 4th, so I don't even know what the 4th is. But when he said caramel, tobacco, and bourbon, I'm like, give it to me. I don't care. It sounds delicious. Give it to me. It was delicious.
Caramel,
and I ran out.
Tobacco, bourbon. Stop right there. Say no more. Well, the last one's sour green apple, so you might want to let me finish.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Oh, what the hell is that? That's the 4th blend. The 4th blend, we don't tell you what it is because you won't buy it.
You walk into the store and they're like, well, this is 4 Blend. Oh, what's in it? Well, it's caramel, bourbon, tobacco. Go on. No, don't worry about the last one. It's our own special. But I'm also doing Into Loop, which is Fruit Loops. And I'm doing Silence of the Clouds, which is like a slushy blue raspberry.
I love the creative names they come up with. It's almost as good as craft beer. Craft beer has the most creative names.
Oh, for sure. But it's always like angry dog or dying bitch face or something crazy.
But, I mean, vapes are really stepping up their game, though, with their names.
It's true.
But I like how you're on a cereal kick, though. You got Fruit Loops and Crunch Berries.
Yep, I do. And if anybody wants links to the place where I buy my stuff, let me know. Post it in the comments or somewhere, or hit us up on Facebook. Craig and I are both in the forum, as you probably all know, which you can find by going to tsidpod.com/forum. But come in, we can chat about vaping. We're open to anything. And we can send you some links, because I buy all my stuff online. Craig, you buy local, don't you?
So far from what I've bought has been local, yes. I've only bought 2 bottles so far.
Gotcha. Anyway, yeah, fun stuff. The next comment is from Forrest Bazat. The Zot Man says, basically, it's about... he's going back to butt facials.
Oh, yes. Yes, this is going to get good.
Basically, it's about smoothing it out. every source I've found makes it sound like it's hold on, I gotta
smoothing what out.
That is the question. Basically, it's about smoothing it out. Every source I found makes it sound like it's primarily for women, but who's to say it can't be for men too? So you're basically talking about a Brazilian wax. Is that correct?
That's what I'm guessing. But why facial? That just sounds so much grosser. Why can't it just be like butt wax? I'd rather hear butt wax
That's
than
got to be an unofficial
butt
title.
Facial.
That's got to be an unofficial title. It could have gone a few different ways. It went the way I was expecting it to, but
right. I always expected it to go like sitting on faces is what I thought it was going to, because that is a fetish.
Yep.
Not that I have.
All right, we got a couple other comments. Lucas Riley says, I was picturing that I don't know why I keep forgetting to pop these up here. All right, I was picturing that the ass is being used to give someone a facial. The ass is being used to give someone a facial. So he's just commenting on Forrest's thing. Dems says, I assumed it was butt cake. I need help. Yeah, probably.
Interesting.
Forrest says, personally, I don't exactly see the point of it, but it wasn't at all what I expected it to be. That's good.
I want to know
what did you expect?
Why is Forrest researching butt facials?
Right, Forrest, you've got some explaining to do here in why you brought this up. On top of why this came up today, he's on vacation.
That makes sense.
He's in like a spa, and they're like, "Did you want a butt facial?" And he's like, "Please explain." I wouldn't have. I would have said nope. Don't explain. Just gonna pass.
I like my butt the way it is.
So Forrest says, and I kind of realize I'm making no sense tonight. If I told someone at this moment that I'm a pastor's son, they won't believe me, or maybe they will, depending on their views of pastor's sons. I believe it, because we both are.
We are pastor's sons.
And then he says, yes, Brazilian wax. Okay, cool. And that, no, Dems says, I wish you could see I'm pulling these comments up so everybody can see them big while it's happening. I wish you could see them so I didn't have to read them all. But Dem says, butt version of bukkake is what I mean, by the way. On that note, where's my camera? On that note, Craig, what else is going on in the world? Thank you guys for this wonderful side tangent to talk about butt facials. It's been an absolute joy to me. Craig, you're muted. Good frickin' A. Damn it.
Are they even listening to our worthless rambling, or are they just more intrigued about butt cakes and butt facials?
Yeah, I'm not sure which is more entertaining at this point, but let's get some more news.
Let's get on to more of a serious note. Have we actually discussed Alex Jones being banned from the internet of all time? Have we had that conversation?
I don't think you and I have. I have talked about it with somebody who was a guest on the show that's going to air probably next week, but I don't think you and I have actually dug into it.
So it's been discussed on the forum that about sometime last week, roughly, Alex Jones...
To be specific. Roughly between the beginning, middle, and end of the week.
Alex Jones first got kicked off of YouTube, and then Twitter, and then Facebook. Oh, is he even on? He's on Facebook.
I think he got kicked off of Facebook too, and Spotify and Apple and all these things all at the same time.
Very, very closely at the same time. So YouTube had said,
it was all within the span of, I think the time span was like 11 or 12 hours, which is going to be important to note later.
YouTube said that their latest video violated their policies and stuff like that. Didn't specifically state what violated it, making it very vague.
Do we know what the video was? Has anybody posted that?
I don't know. I haven't seen. But that being said, if it's that vague, apparently all the other channels or platforms found this vague incidents to be highly offensive too. More offensive than anything that he's ever done before. Mm-hmm. And then
he's done some crazy shit.
Right.
If you're not familiar.
I did read that once he crossed the line, they went back and like checked all his other stuff and like, you know what, this stuff's all pretty iffy too. So yeah, we're just kicking him off altogether. So that led us. That just led to a lot of us saying how that's really blatant censorship, and neither of us are huge Alex Jones supporters.
Not at all.
Considering we had 2 episodes about Alex Jones. Was it 2 or just 1?
Yeah, and then I had Kelly Jones on the show to bash
on him a little more.
Yeah.
And so, but the fact that they are deciding to just blatantly kick him off for these vague reasons just opens up a whole door of implications to free speech, I guess you could say, or all this other stuff. Like, if you're going to kick Alex Jones off, who else are you going to kick off? And for no clear reason. And then a few days later, we talked about, or maybe I just posted, I can't remember, how Twitter made the statement that they are now going to start banning people who are trying to avoid being banned.
Okay.
So when they say, you know, you did this wrong, if you do it again, we're going to ban you. So now if I stop doing that, well, now we're going to ban you because you're trying to avoid being banned.
Yep. They're just setting themselves up for screw you. And they could have said it that way from the beginning. But that would make them look bad.
It's my company.
If they just were honest and they were like, we don't like what you're saying, screw you. We don't need to hear anymore. We don't need to think about this. Just get out.
We don't want that in our minds. Yeah. We want to think about what we want to think about.
Now they are completely confirming that by saying, if you're saying stuff that we don't like, we're going to ban you. Okay, I'm sorry, I won't say anything that you don't like anymore. Well, you're banned because of that. Because you don't want to say anything that will, like, there's no line anymore. It's just like,
no,
we just want to. So we're going to ban you. Goodbye.
Right. So, and that was very shortly after Mark Zuckerberg came out. I know we talked about this. Mark Zuckerberg came out and said, you know, maybe
you gotta say like Mark
Holocaust.
Zuckerberg.
I don't know how he talks really.
Just talk like a Jewish robot.
But
and sip your water very awkwardly. Have you watched that?
I can't.
Somebody put together a compilation of all the times he took a drink, and he's always just like this.
Because he's always
like
had water fed
sips.
to him. Usually water is fed to him. Like, he doesn't know how to drink it on his own.
He doesn't want to short circuit, so he doesn't want to take too big of drinks at once. But he still wants to look human.
Right. So, but no, this was like shortly after the Zuck came out and said that Holocaust deniers don't necessarily think that they're giving out false information intentionally. And he got a world of crap for that. And so not long after that, all these bans go on for Alex Jones for whatever Alex Jones does, typical Alex Jones things. So then that brings me to recently, I think this was, what's today's date?
20.
The 20th. So this was yesterday. This article says that a CNN analyst cheered banning Alex Jones and Bill Maher wrecked her. Which there's that again. He wrecked her.
Of course he did.
Which I'm not a huge Bill Maher fan because he's like
so much so that 45 minutes ago before we started, you were like, "I've got this Bill Maher
Mayer." I said Mayer.
Bill Mayer article that I want to talk about.
And then I had to sit there and rehearse how to say his name.
Yeah.
Just to
you haven't heard a thing I've said this whole time. I switched to the wrong thing. You haven't heard a thing I've said this whole time just because you're just saying Bill Maher over and over again.
Anyway,
I do have the article pulled up if you want to read through it. I've got it here.
Sure. It says CNN analyst cheered banning Alex Jones. Bill Maher wrecks her. HBO talk show host Bill Maher hammered firmer... Oh, my gosh.
Hammered firmer journalist.
Let me start over. Can we edit that out?
Nope. We are live.
HBO talk show host Bill Maher hammered former Michigan Democratic governor, that's a lot of words to read, Jennifer Granholm, after she cheered a recent decision by tech companies to ban Alex Jones and InfoWars from their platform. Granholm, a far-left CNN commentator and advisor to Media Matters, yelled, "Thank God," after Maher brought up how social media companies had kicked Jones off their platforms after receiving pressure from CNN to do so. Maher, who noted, so they kicked Jones off after receiving pressure from CNN to do so? Does that seem motivated somehow?
Yeah.
Okay.
No
Maher,
surprise.
who noted,
no surprise there.
Yeah, that's new to the story to me. I didn't realize that part of it. So Maher, who noted that Jones had told crazy lies about him, which, okay, I mean, he has the right to say that, whether Jones did or not. I know they go back and forth a lot. Responded to Granholm's smirk and cheers from the audience by saying, "Well, if you're a liberal, you're supposed to be for free speech." That was unexpected to me.
Right?
He said, he goes on
saying,
saying,
there was a time when liberals were like the hippies, the free love, free do what you want, lesser, I suppose maybe not lesser government, but like leave us alone government, no war, no
less regulation or
yeah. It's not the case anymore. So yes,
no, absolutely
in
not.
2018, this is news.
So he goes on to say, "That's free speech for the speech you hate," Maher passionately stated. "That's what free speech means. We're losing the thread of the concepts that are important to this country. If you care about the real American shit or you don't," Maher continued, "and if you do, it goes for every side. I don't like Alex Jones, but Alex Jones gets to speak. Everybody gets to speak." Dang, Bill. I kind of like you a little more now. I kind of like you a lot more now.
I don't know. He's been super, super lefty lately. This is surprising.
Which is fine. He can be super, super lefty, but if he comes out and says, "Look, I'm super, super lefty," he's not, but he still should get to, even if his speech is stupid, he still should have the right to say that stupidity. Anybody
as Jason
who says
Stapleton says, "I don't care if you're Bernie Sanders or if you're Bill Maher or whoever. Where you stand with liberty, I'll stand with you." Like, there is some common ground here. And if we have liberals speaking rationale, we should not be bashing on them. I am not a fan of Bill Maher. I have liked him in the past. I've liked a lot of the things that he said about Christianity in, what was his documentary? Religulous? Yeah, I could do a whole episode just breaking down that documentary. I think that he's right, 100% on this. Yes. So, good on you. Same with Zuckerberg. I think that he's a psycho, and I don't agree with him on most things politically, but he is saying people should be allowed to be stupid. Like, people should be allowed to be wrong. We can't mandate that everybody think right. It's never going to work.
Mm-hmm. And the second we start saying, "I don't agree with that," you can't say that anymore. You can't say that. That's when...
I don't agree with any of you who are saying that. So where does this end? Right.
And that goes back to what we said last week, or the last time we did this, that speech is hate, or I don't remember how you put it, but...
If speech is violence, then violence is murder.
Right. So speech being violence, like, "Oh, you can't say that. That hurts my feelings. You're being violent. You're violating my feelings." It's just getting out of hand. I'm glad to see even somebody like Bill Maher, maybe possibly waking up to that fact.
When you say that my speech is hurting your feelings, you saying that my speech is hurting your feelings, that's hurting my feelings. So
right. So you can't say that. Doesn't end ever. But yeah, my hat's off to you. Well, I'm not taking it off, but my I don't know. My hat's off to you, Bill Maher.
Kudos. Yes. It's a good, tiny step. I mean, it shouldn't. It doesn't take a genius to see that the Alex Jones thing is bad. As you said,
Right.
and I've said, and we've said a million times, we don't agree with a lot of the Alex Jones stuff. I think the Alex Jones is a shill. I think that he is. I think that he's completely off his rocker, and he's just there to entertain people and take their money. I don't support Alex Jones. I think that Alex Jones has the right to be allowed to say stupid things, just like Bill Maher
He has
does.
the right to be a shill.
Yes.
He has the right to be a freaking shill.
Well, Bill Maher, I mean, he had his show Politically Incorrect before whatever it is now. I think it's just Bill Maher show now. Something. I don't know. I don't keep up with it. But he had the show Politically Incorrect, and it was like pushing the bounds. And of course he should support Alex Jones, because he's always said stuff that there's always a big group of people that are mad at him for what he's saying, be it conservatives, liberals, Christians, or whoever. He's always saying something controversial. So, yeah, he should 100% stick up for this. I mean, it's the same as like comedians. Like, we're getting this rash of comedians who are sticking up for the social justice warrior side, like Hank Azaria, I think that's his name, from The Simpsons, who doesn't like the character Apu that he plays because it's racially accurate, played by a white guy. So it's bad. It's like we have these comedians who are kowtowing to what the social justice warrior, very touchy left, are saying, and it's ruining comedy. The comedians are supposed to be the ones that are able to speak out against the system. That's what the Jester was back in the day. He was the only person who could go and say to the king's face how stupid the king was and make fun of him, because that made the king laugh. Like, that is your point, is to push the boundaries. And now we have people that are known for being boundary pushers, like Hank Azaria and Eminem, and these people who they're known for being the controversy. And they're like, no, you guys shouldn't be saying these things. You shouldn't be allowed to say these things. Like, who
you made your career off of being
against
the normal.
Eminem made his career off of songs about murdering his ex-wife and locking her in his trunk and shit like that. It's like, who are you to say that I am like this terrible person if I support Trump? Which I still don't. But anyway, tirade aside.
All right. What do you got? Anything else?
I've got nothing, and we're pushing an hour 20. So, do you got
I
any
got
fake
one
news?
more.
Okay, give me
I got one more. This guy, or girl, I'm sorry, Caitlin Johnstone of Medium.com writes, this is one of those like opinion articles. It says, how to get rid of a paranoid conspiracy theorist. Okay, you got to hear this out.
This is going to be a long one. So I'm going to read a couple comments before we get into it.
Okay. How do you know it's going to be? Okay.
That's your little snippet. I know it's going to be a long one because I know that it's going to be something that triggers me.
Actually, from what I saw, it might be pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Don't spoil it too much. Jeez.
All right, fine.
All right. Let's see. What do we got here for comments? The last one was from Forrest saying, or no, maybe. Okay. Dems butt version of Bukkake. We read that one. Then Dems says, I'm dead. Then Dems says, 2 months out from the, here we go. 2 months out from the midterms, totally didn't factor into the decision. Definitely not. I don't remember what we were talking about at the time. Do you? Midterms?
I don't remember. I don't recall, but if he can clarify, that'd be great.
All right. Dem says, Mara has his moment of clarity, but he's still a massive shit lib 90% of the time. Yeah, that's pretty much...
Agree. Agree 100%.
Yeah, I do like that. I don't know. Bill Maher has his moments where he is able to be a little bit rational, but he used to call himself a libertarian. I don't think even pretends that anymore. He's not even close. He's just, yeah, I know. But you got to give credit where credit's due, and when Bill Maher says something that's not completely stupid, good on him. The Zotman says, I lost my hat in the mall last week. Hold on. Don't say anything. Let's just let that sit there for a second.
Can you read it one more time just for
the Zotman
emotional connection?
I lost my hat in the mall last week.
Moment of silence.
Hats off to hat loss.
I'm sorry you got to see me with my hat off. It's probably disturbing, but
that was a much longer moment of silence than we've ever given to any sad thing. But Forrest, thanks. Okay. Dem says Alex Jones getting booted. Correct, indeed. And we kind of need to go back to that a little bit. Yeah, the fact that I mean, it was within a span of 11, 12 hours, like we said, that all these places kicked him off. And Twitter came out, the head guy of Twitter came out saying that he thinks it's a bad precedent to set, and they did not boot him at the time. And they're like, this is a bad precedent. I mean, you could say slippery slope. I wouldn't, because I hate that term. But he's right.
Slippery,
he's
though.
absolutely right. It's a bad precedent to set if you want people to not be outraged by your actions and feel paranoid that your service that you're giving to them is going to just kick them out for no reason. Yeah, he was right. And I'm pretty sure Twitter's kicked him off since then. I could be wrong. You want to do some fact checking?
Sure. Do you know who also did not kick Alex Jones off their platform?
Who did?
Tom. Tom did not kick Alex Jones
MySpace?
off. Yes.
Do they have a MySpace?
I don't know. If they don't, they're wrong.
So this is not factual news. This is just
no. But
assumed.
have you seen that thing that says that Tom had made a statement back in the day that said like he won't kick people off for negative things, or he won't censor this and he won't do that, and it's like, we turned our backs on you, Tom. We are sorry,
Tom. I'm pretty sure Tom sold MySpace like a year before it went under. So
he did. He was smart. He got out while getting out was good.
You would think that Zuck would do that any minute now, if not like a year ago. But whatever.
Yeah, you would think when he was the number 3 person 2 weeks before he got kicked from the number 10 list, the top 10 list, you think that week is the week he would have sold.
You would think so, but I mean, he's in it for the long haul. I mean, how much money is enough money?
Oh, Alex Jones deleted tweets so he could stay on Twitter.
Oh, so
Twitter takes a stand and bans Alex Jones. 5 days ago, Twitter takes a stand and bans Alex Jones for a whole week. So
cool.
I see. That's what I hate. And I know
I hate that they threatened him after all this went down and after they made their statement. I also hate that he's like, okay, I'm sorry, and backed down and deleted some things.
I hate when people.
There's so much worse things than that.
I hate when people backpedal on their decisions because people get a little upset about it.
Like Alex Jones.
It's just like Alex Jones, like when Roseanne did it, like the Twitter CEO now. It's like, just stand by your decision. Yes, I get that you might get people a little pissed off.
Because it's the same as like the Mark Zuckerberg thing where he comes out and says, I'm not going to delete this person because this, which it's funny that happens right after he says, we're not going to delete people because they don't believe in the Holocaust, says the Jewish guy, but we will delete Alex Jones, who never touches Israel, never touches any of the conspiracies involving the Jews. I'll say the Jews. I'm spelling it Goos, so please don't censor this. I'm not talking about... No. Anyway.
The juice. The juice.
Yes, the juice. The acidic.
That's O.J.
juice.
Simpson, right? O.J. Simpson, the juice.
Very much a side tangent, but for the Dawn Retreat stuff, when we're working on our new album, we come up with unofficial, ridiculous titles for our songs so we can remember what's what. And one of the ones that I came up with a stupid title for was Acidic Juice. Instead of Hasidic Jews.
Very nice.
All right. Anyway,
nice.
Yeah, but one of the big issues with the Alex Jones thing, that is so glaringly obvious is that it all happened in such a rapid fire, like them all. This is like tons of companies pulling him down at the same time, and you're telling me that one pulled him down. Well, some people have said the reason for that, it's not like collusion or whatever. It's like everybody was waiting until somebody made the move, and then they all joined suit because they were wanting to do it too. I find that hard to believe. What's your thought on that? I think that there's something more to this, and I think that they're all a little bit in cahoots here.
I think there's, on one side, I think there's obviously an agenda. It seems to be. It's just like, let's get rid of all this. Let's collude together to get rid of this guy. I don't think it was ever, you know what? I didn't like that either. Since you pushed the button, I'm going to push. No, it didn't seem. It just seemed like
these people
all got together.
I mean, we can't pretend like these people don't have clear plans laid out for what they want to happen. Like even if it was just like peer pressure, it's like the fact that they're like, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this as soon as they do it. You can't tell me that there was no conversations there.
No. But then you get fast forward to the next day, and Alex Jones's personal website or Infowars.com goes down. Like the internet booted Alex Jones. The internet booted him.
If that is true, then that is horrifying.
That is, but
and
there's the fact.
You and I both talked about this not on recording and came to the same conclusion, basically, I believe.
Big but. So somebody did share. Somebody did share, like, screenshot them trying to get on Infowars.com, and it did say, like, oops, this account doesn't exist or something. Mm-hmm. And then within minutes like of him sharing
the normal canned response from Google if a website doesn't exist.
Right. And then minutes after that, I tried to get on Infowars.com, and it popped up this page that says, we've been attacked. Find us at this link, or this link.
Right. Which screams of falseness.
Alex Jones.
Because there is, if you get your website taken down, like banned from the internet, you don't get to choose what goes up in its place. The thing, it looks like Infowars is back up now, I'm looking. But if your website gets taken down, it's down. To me, I do web design a little bit here and there. And to me, almost what it looks like is they were retooling their website on the back end, like they were redesigning or something, and then the website hit a glitch, like somebody put in the wrong code. That can happen easily. Just be one letter or number off, and the whole website will say, no, it's not here anymore. And then if you fix that, it comes back up. And then after it comes back up, if you're still working on kinks, you put up a splash page that says, sorry, we're under construction. Go visit this, and this, which is exactly what it looked like. Do you know, did Alex Jones come out and say our website got taken down?
I didn't look that deeply in because it just seemed too odd to me. My thought was,
you definitely don't get it back from being taken down within like a matter of 5 minutes, I would imagine.
So, no, my thought is this. So one day, all the media platforms kick Alex Jones off. So all these people that go to all these social media platforms to get their information, now what do? They go to Alex Jones' webpage.
Right.
He's got supposedly, 60 million viewers or whatever?
Yep.
Everybody flooding to his webpage,
including us.
Potentially.
Last time I went to Infowars
was the day after.
Before that, it was a long time. Even as somebody who's interested in what he's saying, I very rarely go to Infowars.com. I should probably bleep that out. I very rarely go to his website, but you'd know that he got a flood of traffic, a frickin' flood,
which
including me and you.
Could have crashed their servers for a few minutes. And then, obviously, to me anyway, Alex Jones sees his website go down for a minute, and he jumps on that like he jumps on everything else. And it's like, oh, the Chinese hacked my website, and it's taken down. Go to this site instead.
And of course, there's the part of me, at least, I'm pretty sure there's the part of you also, the conspiracy part, that's like, is this, after this rash of Alex Jones being taken down, maybe is the whole thing an elaborate ruse to make conspiracy people even more devoted to this guy? Because if you're getting attacked, I mean, he's always preached about getting attacked by the MSM, and we've always said, well, then how are you still in existence? But he's always said, I'm getting attacked by these people. This is lending credence to him even more so than there already was.
It was like after the website thing happened, I'm like, maybe he did this all himself as a big publicity stunt. Marketing genius. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you could get that many more people, like maybe you're starting to fizzle a little bit and they're like, but are they really attacking you? And then all of a sudden all your stuff gets kicked off. It's like, wow, they really are. So
there's a part of me that's like, there might be something here. I might should listen to Alex Jones a little bit more because he's getting taken down. Like I can see both sides, and I don't know, except for the fact that I'm pretty sure I don't trust Alex Jones. So I kind of lean on that side.
Especially when whoever took your website down let you put the splash page up in its place.
Right. Thank you.
To relink to. We'll do you a favor.
Dictators ever. Like, you can't have the website, but you can kind of have the website.
Yeah, we'll let you relink to another site, but you can't have this one.
Not only that, I'm curious if anybody knows to how quickly it went back up, because it is back up now. And if your website gets taken down, which there are some terrible, terrible, terrible websites that don't get taken down, if your website goes too far as a website and it gets taken down, there's something really, really bad that happened. And it doesn't get put back up, I would imagine. Also, who are the overlords of the internet?
That's what I was going to say. Who censors the internet?
Right.
Besides Al Gore.
It's clearly Al Gore. All right, well, that was a huge side tangent before we get into our next topic, and we've gotten more comments since then, so I'll read those, and then we'll actually jump back to it, because why not? And also, as we do these things, to the extent that we're doing them now, where there's few enough people in here that we can actually respond to all your comments, which is nice. I would love to have more, but if we're responding to all your comments, feel free to bring up a topic of your own if you know something that's going on in the news that you want us to talk about, and we will look into it, and you will know in real time our opinions of it. And my wife is calling me, so who knows how long this is going to go on for. Okay, Brandon Kruckenberg. Brandon, what's up, my friend? You left Facebook, and that is sad because we need you in the forum. Brandon Kruckenberg says, a long one. That's what she said. Thank you. Thank you for your deep intellect. Dem says, F? I don't know what F means. The Zotman says, did you hear about Ryan Johnson deleting 20,000 of his tweets in the wake of James Gunn being fired from Guardians of the Galaxy? No, I did not.
We'll have to look into that, but probably not tonight.
Yeah. All right, my wife is calling again, which means it's serious. Maybe we should take it live.
Are you going to take that risk?
Hello, you are live on the System is Down podcast. Kayla, how are you doing? Well, they sleep through worse than this. Okay, love you, bye. Yeah. Love you back. All right.
That was special.
I did not make it speakerphone in live, but I will repeat what she said because I approve of all of it. I answered the phone and she said, "Hey, can you shut the fuck up? Your children are trying to sleep."
Fair enough.
That is fair enough. And I know for a fact that they will not wake up because I have literally done like hardcore vocals in the room next to my daughter's room. There was a time like a week or two ago where I was like, I'm going to track these vocals that I just wrote. I want to get them down before I forget them. I walked into her room and I was like, hey, I woke her up. I was like, I'm going to be recording vocals. She knows what that means. It's like, I'm going to be yelling in the room next to you. If it keeps you awake, just come in and tell me and I'll stop and I'll do it another time because I know that you won't wake up. She never woke up. The next morning, she did not recall the conversation that I had with her about waking up, which she responded to in her sleep by saying, okay, yep, no problem, yep, and gave me a hug and kiss and all that fun stuff. They're not going to wake up from me talking in a accelerated volume.
Can you speed volume up?
Yes, my volume is sped.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, Forrest said, and Dems responded. Did you hear about the Ryan Johnson? You know who Ryan Johnson is, right?
I can't put a finger on it right now.
This is going to start a totally different side tangent, but he was the director of Looper and also, more notably, The Last Jedi. Ryan Johnson deleted 20,000 of his tweets in the wake of James Gunn being fired from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And
can we fire that guy for writing The Last Jedi?
Dem says James Gunn at least made 2 good movies for Marvel. Ryan Johnson completely buried the Star Wars franchise and pissed off the entire fan base. I bet his leash is much shorter. Forrest Bazak goes on to say he was given a whole trilogy to do after The Last Jedi. Correct. And now rumors are floating around that that's being canceled. Not surprised.
Because of his tweets or because of The Last Jedi?
I would say probably because of both. I want to see it because I don't care if I don't like a Star Wars movie, which I think The Last Jedi is great. But even if there's a bad Star Wars movie, which Forrest knows there is one, it is called Rogue One. But even if there's a bad Star Wars movie, I'm going to go see it. I'm not going to complain that it was bad. I'm just going to watch the next one and hope that it gets better. Dem says KK Kathleen Kennedy should get the axe too, who is the overlord at Disney for Star Wars. Kayla says, you're disturbing me, and I'm a whole floor beneath you. I don't know what we were talking about when she said that, but whatever.
Probably because you don't disturb your children, but now you're disturbing her.
Oh, cool.
So in
Kayla,
reality...
thank you so much for listening. I'm glad you are one of the 4 current listeners to the show.
So in reality, you're not going to disturb the children's slumber. You're disturbing your wife's slumber.
If she's a floor beneath me, then she's not asleep.
Okay.
She's working on a story. But doesn't matter. I don't even remember what the headline was before the
we'll get back into it.
On tangent.
How to get rid of paranoid conspiracy theorists. That is our final topic because I have stuff to do.
Yeah.
So, author Caitlin Johnstone via medium.com. Do you say via or via?
Via.
Okay, me too.
No.
Some people say via and they're wrong.
I'm not sure. It
now you
hasn't come
just
up
don't
recently.
Via medium.com.
Mandela effect.
She says, are you sick and tired, as I am, of all those tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy nutters who express skepticism whenever the kind and beneficent U.S. intelligence agency bestow us with urgent information about a new country in need of a regime change? Do you want to get rid of that kooky fringe 74% of Americans who believe in the deep state which controls the elected government? Well, you're in luck. No, listen. You're in luck, bucko. I happen to have compiled right here a list of 6 simple steps that our compassionate government and fearless media can take to rid America of those Looney Tune paranoid conspiracy theorists once and for all.
All right, I like where this
is
going.
Ready for the list?
Yeah.
I told you you'd like it. This is kind of extensive. I probably won't read all of it, so we'll at least get the list of 6 in and then read some of her comments on it. Number one of how to get rid of the Looney Tune paranoid conspiracy theorists. Stop fucking lying all the time. Simple, right? Just stop lying and people will stop wondering how the narrative they're being spoon-fed by their politicians and the media differs from reality. And the practice of defense and intelligence agencies collaborating with think tanks and unelected insiders to manufacture false narratives which are the promulgated by pundits and politicians of both mainstream parties to advance imperialist agendas. What will Alex Jones and Sputnik talk about if the voice of power start telling the truth all of a sudden instead of lying about the justifications for imperialist war? Excluding and censoring skeptics of establishment orthodoxies from the mainstream conversation and being forthright about the massive and ubiquitous problems in America's democratic system. That'll show those crackpots.
Who is this
Comments
person?
on number one?
Who is this
This
person?
is Caitlin Johnstone via medium.com. I like her.
She's going in the right direction.
All right, number 2. Try some actual fucking government transparency. I'm sorry for all the bad language, but I am reading the source here. I cannot misquote. Stop or try some actual fucking government transparency. That's right. Add government transparency into the mix, and what will those hostile, non-state intelligence operatives like Julian Assange have to publish? I say we drive the WikiLeaks fake news complex right out of business by eliminating the immense veil of secrecy which shrouds so many levels of U.S. government. That way, when those annoying conspiracy kooks try to say we're not being given the full story about the behavior of America and its allies, our leaders can just tell them, yes, we are, actually, and show unredacted documents of all their behaviors. How do you like that, Russian WikiLeaks? We are the WikiLeaks now.
Right.
Number 3. You got any comments on 2?
Yeah. I mean, all of these are so fantastically perfect. It's like, you guys need to stop, like, looking into our emails. That's our business. It's like, but, I mean, like the whole Edward Snowden thing. It's like, he's an enemy of the state. He's an enemy of the country. He's treasonous, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but don't you think that, I mean, if there's something happening, don't you think we deserve to know?
Right. And don't you think what he exposed is a little worse than what he did?
How is the person who exposed corruption, and it's not just like he's hacking my emails and showing my search history or whatever. He's hacking, or Julian Assange and these people are hacking into people that we are paying their salaries, and we are paying not only their salaries, but every stupid decision that they make, we have to pay for it. They get to say, this is what we're doing as a country now, and we pay for it. We should know what they're doing. Maybe there should be, like, every single email that is sent that isn't, like, hardcore classified, like, I don't know, something that is a public safety issue. Everything else, maybe that should just be declassified. Maybe we should get to see all their conversations. Maybe even the classified stuff. There should be something that goes out to every single person who is a legal immigrant in this country. You're paying our salary. You get to know what we're talking about because we chose to be on this platform. We chose to be in this position where we can just choose where your money goes. Maybe you should get to hear all of that.
All right, we got to keep going.
No.
Number 3. Stop fucking killing people. Of course, it's hard to be transparent when you're conducting countless military operations all over the planet at any given moment, so we'll probably have to stop that too. We don't want to give away the secret plans and locations of America's brave servicemen and women, after all. Dedicate the U.S. military to defending America's own shores and close down the hundreds of U.S. military bases which dot the world like freckles on a Scotsman. And the next time those paranoid conspiracy free yes, okay, I gotta read that again. Can't blow by that.
We probably have Scottish background, most likely.
I think so.
So
close down the hundreds of U.S. military bases which dot the world like freckles on a Scotsman. I'm gonna remember that one.
We can say Mick too because it's our people.
Sure. And the next time those paranoid conspiracy freaks start questioning what they're being told, they can just be shown the truth. Not as much fun as drone bombing children, I'll admit, but if we want to get serious about this conspiracy theory epidemic, we've got to start somewhere. Amen, sister.
Send me a link to this.
Number 4.
I might do a video just on this.
I shall. Number 4. Stop promoting fucking conspiracy theories. I don't like to be a Debbie Downer, but when we've got news stories coming out every few days promoting theories about U.S. president conspiring with the Russian government, it gets a little difficult to tell people not to indulge in conspiracy theories. Unproven claims about powerful people conspiring together is the exact thing that a conspiracy theory is. And while I understand that these are authorized conspiracy theories, we can't rely on these crazy loons to understand the distinction. Better to lead by example and avoid trafficking in conspiracy theories altogether, in my opinion.
That is by far the best one so far, and like that's something that people don't even think about. It's something that I don't even think about. It's brilliant.